Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Keystone College baseball. Joining us is the head coach, Jamie Shevchik, along with an outstanding pitcher. His name is Rob Blanc. He happens to be from Sandy Hook, Connecticut, a transfer from Franklin Pierce University, and a great job by him pitching the championship game, 8 innings, allowing just 2 hits. Coach, getting guys like Rob Blanc always feel good. Get him on the mound, and I know you got a whole bunch of guys just like him that get out and get after it for Keystone.
Yeah, it's always nice when you have a guy like Rob on the team. I mean, he's one of the hardest working guys that I've ever been around, and I had the luxury to coach him 2 years of summer ball a couple years ago, and he wanted to make the switch from Franklin and Pierce and have maybe a different role, get more innings, and we're obviously glad to have him. He had a great year for us.
Coach, when you see a kid like Rob Blanc and what he does, and how about his natural leadership, what he does, and what he does on the mound for you to help your guys with their confidence? Because I'm sure as he's throwing so hard, you get some guys that want to hit for a guy like that.
What he does, outside of baseball, in the weight room with his conditioning, taking care of himself, getting himself ready to pitch, and pitch at a high level is his leadership alone. Unfortunately, we only get to have him for 1 year, but he's been one of the guys that kind of is the glue that keeps our pitching staff together, and has been one of the forces for us the entire year.
Well, let's welcome in Rob Blanc, a senior at Keystone College, baseball player. Oh, Rob, tell us about your year this year for Keystone. You guys got out to a little bit of a slow start, but boy, when you poured it on, you guys are still pouring it on and playing some great baseball right now for the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning of the year, we had our ups and downs. We were struggling hitting, pitching, we struggling so defense, but ever since we got back in Florida, everything's come together, and our team chemistry is the biggest thing that's helping us over the last few weeks, winning 16 out of 17, and keep this thing rolling through the playoffs.
Rob, the tough part, Coach Shevchik and I had talked a few weeks ago, you guys couldn't even get outside. How tough was that for a pitcher to not be able to get outside and kind of loosen up outside and get on the mound?
I mean, it's real tough. I mean, throwing into a gym, throwing in a cage, we do cage ball every year, where we're just throwing the live hitters in the cage, and it's nowhere close to what it's like out on the mound during game situations. But, I mean, coming from Franklin Pierce, staying with Northeast weather, we always were inside. We had a bubble, but here at Keystone we have a gym. So it's real tough to transition from the gym to the field, and I think that's one of the biggest things that hurt us in the beginning of the year.
We're talking Keystone College baseball here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Robin, you talk about the staff at Keystone. I know Coach Shevchik does a great job, but he always gives accolades to his staff, including his pitching coach, who he says there might not be a better one around.
Yeah, Coach Homer is one of the best coaches I've ever had. He's a very straightforward guy. He'll tell you how it is. He won't sugarcoat anything, but he helps our pitching staff an immense amount. And he's helped me personally a crazy amount since I've been here. I've been coming out in the fall. I'm night and day from where I was in the fall to the spring, and I couldn't thank him enough for what he's done for the team and how he's progressed the pitchers on the staff over the course of the year.
Rob Blanc, a senior here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers, locations in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, and Williamsport. Let's get back over to Coach Jamie Shevchik. Coach, talk about your bats, how they're doing right now, because you guys put up some great runs over the weekend and got a championship, and now you guys will be heading into the regional in the middle of the week. Not sure where that's going to be played yet, but you guys are, I'm sure, excited about what you guys are able to do offensively as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys that are swinging the bats. I mean, we're deep. We're 12, 13, 14 guys deep that can get in there and play at any time. And I think the good thing about this squad, something that we've been kind of preaching of late, and especially on that big run that we've had since we got back from Florida, is, whatever happens throughout the course of a game, whether we go down 2 or down 6, the way this offense can produce, it's all about just keeping the same mentality, sticking to the game plan, not pressing, not trying to do too much, and eventually, we're going to explode. We've been doing it every game, and so it doesn't matter what happens. Whether we make mistakes, we get down early, this is the type of team that can come back and put up 8-9 runs in one inning, and when you have guys that can hit like that, there's always a possibility that you can go deep in any tournament, which is going to be, and it's going to be exciting to see what we can do coming up this week.
Jamie, you talk about excitement and being on this streak. What is it about this team? Because it seems each and every year we talk about a new team and what you guys do, but you guys replace so much talent every year. And, but this group right now, you're on such a run with the way you guys have played and put together. I don't know, it's like 17 of 18 games or something like that in a row.
Yeah, 17 I think it was 20. We've now won 22 out of our last 25 games to finish the season. I compare this team to the team in 2011 that went to the College World Series. I've had some pretty good teams. In 2010, I think I may have had one of the best Division III baseball teams ever assembled, offensively, pitching-wise, all the way through. I mean, we hit 80 home runs as a team and averaged, I think, 12 runs a game. But, there was when you have guys like that, when you're hitting 80 home runs, the camaraderie, the closeness, the gelling, that was the one thing that we were missing. And we went into the regional tournament that year in 2010, and, we ducked out early. And I think the biggest reason is that we weren't playing for each other. And the following year in 2011, less talented team, but there was more guys that were just hungry. They got along. They wanted to win. They were playing for each other. And I compared this year's team to a lot like that 2011 team. This is a great group of guys. There's been times we get around to this point of the year, and I'm kind of looking forward to that break. I'm looking forward to having a couple weeks off from the season's going to end. And it all depends on the character of the kids that want you to keep going. So for these guys, I love these guys. They're a great group of kids, and I want to go as far as I possibly can with them.
Well, Coach, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Rob, one last question for you would be fitting in at Keystone College. How'd that go for you here in the senior year? And, of course, tell us about the other pitchers on your staff and the guys you have there that have really done a tremendous job for the Giants.
Well, this being my first year at Keystone, I mean, it was a pretty easy transition because I played for Coach Shev and Coach Smythe in Danbury during the summer for 2 summers over the last 4 years. So I thought that really helped me get into the team and bond with a lot of guys. And as a staff, during practice, we split up the team into pitchers and position players, and I think that really helps with our pitchers bonding and the position players bonding as a whole, and it really helps our team get, I'd like to say, the team chemistry just really helps when we split things up during practice, and then it works towards the game. But other than that, our staff, Mike Hamilton, he's a workhorse. He's been real big for us. Darren Lauer is also another big piece that we've really had success with this year. And I mean, all of our bullpen's been great. We pride ourselves. Coach Homer prides ourselves on working extremely hard, and we work really hard to be successful every single day. And I think that's really transitioned onto the field.
Rob Blanc, a senior at Keystone College. He's a pitcher, and they're getting ready for the regionals in just a few days here. Coach Shevchik, we appreciate the opportunity to talk with you one more time, and we wish you well, and hope you guys could push through along with Misericordia University. Both teams in northeastern Pennsylvania, we're rooting for both of you guys, all right?
Appreciate it, John. Hopefully we're talking soon about going to Wisconsin.
All right, you got it. Jamie Shevchik, and, of course, one of his pitchers, Rob Blanc, here on the John Mendola Show for Keystone College Baseball, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.